All right, hey guys, Jake from Made for the Range here, back at Golf Tech HQ in Denver, joined again with Nick Clearwater, who is the SVP of Player Development here, as well as number 17 on the Golf Digest teachers list. So thank you very much for joining me.
It's great to hang out with you here. Talk about this stuff.
Try not to throw too much bad swing juju your way, but we'll fix that in the future too.
I've seen it all. You're doing great.
So today we're going to go through some Skytrak stuff. Again, we mentioned in the last video, Skytrak has a new ability to input different ranges. So right now, if you go into a Golf Tech, your coach can throw some challenges, let's call them, your way.
Yeah, we're just getting started with this too. So as I mentioned in a previous video, which you should check out about launch monitors, we own the software. GOLFTEC does. GOLFTEC is basically a bunch of golf teachers trying to find their way and helping everybody play a little bit better. When we unlock the software and we can make what we want, you're not just beholden to this 450-yard wide driving range that's, I think, customary on everyone's software. So we built a few pretty cool different backgrounds and different ways to practice that will eventually expand and gamify and try to make, I think, extremely interesting. Just this tool itself is a custom range editor. So I'm able to, with a developing program and our awesome development team here that we have that helps us with all kinds of business-related things, build some things in our driving range environment that look different and look cool and give you some chances to practice. So for example, here's a 150-yard shot. Have to hit it less than 15 degrees on the vertical launch. So for someone who's is really good practice with a 7-iron, for people who launch the ball with too much dynamic loft, and you see all the time the left wrist extension and the shaft is bending at them real quick. The flipping is really the dogmatic term to say it. Sure. We throw them on a range like this, punch up 7-iron like you're going to hit, and now we're no longer on the driving range. We are just in this spot where you've got one target and a bunch of trees in the way. Good luck hitting it under 15 degrees, and it's a way that you can learn by yourself. I don't need to be there to tell you if you did it right or wrong. You're going to know if you hit the tree. So a good way to practice would be to hit and either flex your wrist, unhinge your wrist, or ulnar deviate, and try to keep that relationship between the shaft and your forearm in a straight line instead of bending those two together really quick.
And this is something that's coming to the consumer models too. So I can go into my Golf Tech, I can work with my coach, and maybe we do this for 10 minutes or whatever. And he says, like, hey, go home, pull this one up, and just keep working on it before I get to him next time.
Someday we'll get there, Jake. Yeah. Awesome. And then do 10 times more than that. Sure. That's my idea, yeah. So that's a good start. Yes, and then even simple things, too, for Golf Tech that are important would be then when you come in for your practice session, which we encourage everybody to do, once they get better, come in and practice in the same environment. You might just log in and see this driving range is loaded up for you. So you practice on your own.
So your coach can just kind of give you a little bit of encouragement to work on that.
They'll tell you what to do. Say, go practice it. The results from your practice will come back to your coach. I mean, all that's possible. We haven't made it all the way to the development of how we're going to tie all that together. But yeah, that's what'll make this cool and different. And that's why it's so exciting to have just that software in our fingertips so that we can make what we want. Man, as a bunch of golf teachers, you can get such a helpful way to help someone practice their game just from the environment in which they're practicing. We've never been able to do that before with any other partner.
That's awesome. All right, should I try one here?
Yeah, I'm waiting. Right. I'm just talking to fill the space until I see you hit one.
So this is my home course. It looks like this a lot for me.
Mm-hmm. So everybody faces a shot like this, and the worse you are at golf, the better your improvement is here, the better your swing form really is getting, because you're learning how to manage dynamic loft and really spin loft too. As well as the strike location on the club to keep it low enough. So if you got good at this, you're going to be good at golf.
Sure. All right, let's try it.
150, under 15 degrees, straight shot. So, I mean, all this sounds so easy. You just have to hit it straight.
You say it sounds easy.
Yeah, well, that's because I don't have to hit it, but I will.
Oh,
well, that was definitely low enough. We should try another one, Jake.
Okay.
All right, here we go. I'm just watching that launch angle, and it's nice. 14. Could have changed the view. That would have made this more fun. The ball's on the green, though. So there's your launch under 15, to the point where if you're hitting a standard shot from 150, that isn't actually the shot you'd want to hit. But it was really good practice for what you're trying to do. Can you do this 2 times in a row, you think?
I'm going to trick myself and say yes.
That took a little while.
Yeah. No, we're just going to go with the confidence, I guess.
Really good. And even learning how to control the curve of the ball, how much it's going to draw or fade. Yeah. Hitting it low here is a skill. Nice. Think you got it?
I think that one's probably
Oh, that's
better.
very low. Change the view so you can see where this one's going to land. Just short of the
just
green.
short.
Didn't roll up very much. It's a little thicker right there. It's still a good shot. I mean, you're well on the right track if you do that 20 more times. And
Yeah.
it's good practice for reducing dynamic loft.
This is something that I'll get sucked into.
Yeah,
like
it's
I'll go
fun.
in for a practice session or something, and I'll get sucked into this, and then my time will be up, and they'll be like, "Hey, by the way, that's it for your half an hour.
Time for you to go, Jake.
I'll still be hitting balls under the trees."
Other ones that I think are interesting, there's so many of them in here. This is one that I like to practice with a lot of students too. So you have the center line. You'll see a tree in the middle of the fairway here too. If you cross the center line to the left, so if you hit a ball that draws too much, it's going to end up in some water.
Oh, okay.
So where this is helpful as a coach, 96% of people who walk into lessons with us slice. Pretty quickly, I try to teach them how to close the face of the path, and all golf tech coaches do, and do it maybe too much. So then you're hitting these shots that push and draw and go really far because now your dynamic loft and your spin loft are less. But then you need to learn how to control the curve of the ball so it doesn't draw too much to the left, which I know most average players would love to have that problem. But as you get better at it, this is the type of range you need to be on next to manage pushing, drawing, but not curving too much.
Sure.
So now that's your task. Step one would be, can you push and draw? And if you can do that 10 times in a row, you're probably ready for this range. Can you push, can you draw, but not cross your target? It's a little tougher
this one's gonna be a little bit difficult because so by now you guys have seen the episode that I did with Braden at the Encinitas Ranch location. He did my first lesson as my swing eval, and my problem is my miss is like a 15-yard miss left. It starts dead straight, but then it just leaves the vicinity of earth at that point.
So you got two problems in here. If you start it straight, you might hit that tree.
Yeah, but this is actually exactly what he was working on with me, is to start it a little bit to the right and then just let it fall back, not swing back.
Yeah,
basically.
And when you're at home practicing, or if you're using Foresight TrackMan, any of the software that you have, you don't have an opportunity really to challenge yourself of how tight you need that to be. It's just this wide open range, and pushing and drawing is easy.
Well, and I think this setting is a perfect example of why Skytrak and GolfTec is such a good marriage, because this is a feature that was 100% just built for the sake of player development and for players getting better, lowering scores, and then taking that onto the golf course to be able to help. Like, this is not about GolfTec and it's not about Skytrak. It's about the combination and the marriage of those two brands, being able to create something like this, which other people just don't have. But it's all player growth focus, which is so cool to see. And the fact that it connects into the bays once you go into a store with your coach, that relationship has been the biggest thing that I've learned about GolfTec. It's not a transactional thing whatsoever. It's a relationship built between two people that, from what I've seen, goes on for quite a while with most customers. Like, a lot of people spend a lot of time on a GolfTec journey to get better, which is really, really cool, because it just shows the ability of the company and all the coaches and the way everybody is trained together with the same philosophies, where it doesn't matter if you go to one location or another. If you move, you're not losing your progress. Like, all that stuff's been a really cool thing for me to learn about the company as all.
I appreciate all that. That's really what we're trying to do. We've got coaches who, this is all they do for a living. They don't run tournaments. They don't run a country club or have to answer the phone and ask a question about what shirts you have in the shop. I mean, this is like purely all they do is teach golf for a living. So, and then we give them thousands of reps every year to get good at it, a foundation on how to teach golf really well, but still they're able to make it their own. So if you have people who are engaged as coaches and they love being there every day because this is what they get to do, kind of fun just teaching golf all the time, then you get some cool tools like this. I mean, you've got a great environment, which is what you're staying.
Absolutely. All right, let's see if I can make Braden happy.
It's a lot of pressure on Braden. I'm judging his work right now.
Yeah. Well, he gave very simple advice. It's just a matter of if I can fix it.
Yeah, some practice, some execution, some cool driving ranges. How do you think you did?
That should do it.
Nice. Started very straight, not curving very much. It actually curved like a yard to the right. Really nice shot.
Braden, you're welcome.
Doesn't pass our test, though, here of got to push, got to draw, can't cross the target. It's pretty close.
Okay.
So then you've got variables in there for your club path is 0.6 to the right. Your face angle was slightly open to that, but just barely. Your swing direction is just not end out enough for that shot to draw.
All right, well, let's try it then.
That was good, though. A really nice shot.
I can't, like, to me, you're basically saying I just took a loophole for the challenge.
Well, we've got some guardrails up there where you can still hit a ball straight and draw it 1 foot and you're okay. but
All
he
right,
can't
so
do
right
work.
start line with a small jaw, you're saying?
Yep.
Okay. Well, that might have been a big draw.
It is,
Nope.
but it pushed enough. Now you've got a 3-degree push. You've got the path 5 degrees into out. The face angle is forward to the right. I mean, that's a really nice shot. That's the whole point of the practice on the Strat,
right.
just to hit that one once you do learn how to draw.
Maybe I can compete just a tiny bit with Fred. One shot at a time for Fred.
So there's one. There's a couple ranges. We've got 10 in here right now. That's going to be 100 soon. And then, yes, ultimately we'll get this out to the Skytrak consumer base, and like to use this in a few hundred other ways that we're not going to talk about today.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, thanks for giving me kind of an inside look here. Again, guys, this stuff is available in your GolfTec right now. So you can go in there, you can work with your coaches, you can do it during lessons if that's what your coach prescribes for you, or you can do it during your practice sessions as well. It's all part of that package, nothing on top of it or anything like that. So thanks for giving me a little insider look. Excited to see the future of this for sure.
No problem, Jake.
Awesome. All right, see you next time, guys.